Aren't we all naked and afraid? Hmm? Fantastic. My name's Curtis. Morning, everybody. That's too high. But yeah, on that note, I never usually talk about the weird thing that I say before fantastic. This is where fantastic goes. But yeah, I was just watching Naked and Afraid for a few minutes there, and the whole hour. I don't know why. I don't know why I said a few minutes, but um, but really, aren't we all like? I mean, most of the time, most people are wearing clothes, but aren't we doing that because we're afraid of the elements and the dangers and whatever the laws and all the reasons that we wear any kind of clothes because we're afraid because we kind of start off naked and afraid, in life. Technically, in our day, if we shower every day, hopefully that's a thing we all do, right? People aren't doing that like once a week. Don't do that. Come on now. I don't know. I don't know if that's right or wrong. You hear so many weird things that are like, oh, do you wash your hair like more than twice a year? Like what? Yeah, no, every day. Like, oh, that's the worst thing you could do. Um, when I was a kid, not washing it was the worst thing you can do. Yeah, it's totally changed since you were a kid. Don't do any of those things. Toothpaste, hair gel, everything. It's all poison. It's all poison. Don't. I think just a few days ago somebody said, "Oh, it says like on the toothpaste if you get like more than a dime size of toothpaste down your throat, induce vomiting or call poison control because that's not supposed to be in you. We put a whole bunch of crazy magic stuff in there that yeah, if you swallow that, you're done. So why am I not just mixing up baking soda and peppermint? I don't know. I don't know. I should, and maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. We'll see. We'll see. I'm getting pretty good at clicking between the cameras without randomly going to an accidental camera like this one. Oh my god, I'm so small. Everything's fine, and here we are. A little bit off on that one. So yeah, that's Naked and Afraid. Other than here's a little bit of it. Naked and Afraid. Anger. I don't know. Whatever it is. Interest. I can't seem to not clench when I'm thinking about it. Uh, minute one, like minute one of getting there, you gotta make shoes. Like just make shoes. So rarely anybody even makes shoes at all, but so often the people they're naked, they're afraid. There's so many giant leaves and vines and just things that are like, why, how would you not even accidentally like, oh my god, I just stepped on this giant leaf and it felt like a dream. Let me touch like anything at all. Like, I mean, wouldn't you just be like, like, oh hey, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Steve, and yep, thanks, Steve. 1 second, I'm making shoes. I'll tell you my name in a minute. Let me make shoes. Like, anyway, it's good to get out here and do this naked and afraid thing. Would you say your name again? Steve. If I don't have shoes, this won't make any sense whatsoever. We gotta walk, we gotta move. Everything is poisonous all the time, and it all has thorns. And no, biting things. Steve, why are you still talking and not making shoes? I'm gonna murder you. I'm gonna eat you, Steve. You should be more naked and afraid than I am. You can't be the naked part. Be more or less. Don't care. Be afraid, Steve. Be afraid. Cheetah speed over here now because I can actually run and you're gonna be like, oh no, oh this hurts. I might as well be a gazelle, like anything, because you've just snailed your feet, and now you're just gonna you know be in pain. You're just gonna be in pain. There's no way around it. Like you're gonna get diarrhea, like 99% chance of naked and afraid diarrhea. So there's really nothing you can do there except I don't know, get your stomach ready by eating horrible things before you get there, or eating nothing and then eating one thing and then getting really sick. Probably not a good idea. And you're gonna have to use your feet, and there's almost always big leaves, like almost always. Get out of here. Who cares? Um, what else have we got on the old notations? Okay. This is something that genuinely makes me naked and afraid. I went off into the world on my own little personal car trip by myself, which I never really did before, like ever. I've lived on my own in my own apartment for years, but I went to work, and if I went on some sort of trip, it was with like people who were like, "Hey, we're going on a specific trip for this specific reason or this specific amount of fun, and you're coming with us. Okay, let's do this." Or we're all doing a thing. Like, you coming? Yeah. Or no. Or it's straight up just like, hey, go see my family, or I went somewhere with my family, but I never was like, I also didn't have a car when I lived by myself, so it wasn't like I'm gonna get on the bus and go somewhere different, and that's gonna be awesome. Like, no, it won't. Any time on the bus is less than awesome. So I never did that, and not much for driving around. And now I find myself uh, semi alone, and I have a car, and it's like, all right, yeah, just gonna do that thing that people do, where you go somewhere by yourself, and you don't like have any real reason other than to be somewhere else and yourself. Uh, that has not the note I have written here has nothing to do. That's crazy. Morning, everybody. Me. It always ends up being about me. So whatever. I gave myself a little road trip, and I'll probably do it again. It still feels very weird to do things completely by myself. I've not done things by myself for like 15 years. So that's just crazy. It's crazy. And when I say I'm semi alone, I still live with the person from 15 years. We gotta sell this house and stuff first. We're very good friends. So anyway, there you go. That's a pile of information to shovel into the information furnace that keeps this train going. Oh my god. Okay. The actual note that all of this somehow is leading to, I always want to look at the opposite side no matter where I put the camera. Um, is on the during the driving of the being by myself and an adult at the same time. The radio, like I had the radio on for a minute, which I don't even know how that happened. I just realized now why and how did I have the legitimate radio playing in my own car when I have an old iPod, like Generation One iPod, in the dash. All I have to do is plug it in and give it some power because the battery does not hold power for more than 5 seconds anymore, and that's okay. It's had a long life. It's worked real hard, and oh man, these lights feel like I put them a lot closer today, and I did. Everything is real jammed up today. One of these episodes, I'll put the other camera like way back so you can see the pile of things. Um, it's kind of like the end of Tarzan, the animated movie, when that guy ends up kind of hung in the shadows, except not hung in it. It's just vines of cables and one dead hunter guy. I'm stalling because my brain is busy trying to figure out how did I end up listening to the radio for so long, like for so long, before I plugged something in, and nothing entertaining was happening. But it must have been just to remember this, or maybe to remind me myself to write this down. Uh, there was an ad on the radio, and the radio ads are notoriously terrible most of the time, anyway. Uh, and it was just like some rock and music, I believe, playing, and I'm trying. I picture a lady just like kind of just rocking out and just loving, loving the music she's listening to, but also like getting super hyped up by the actual paint colors in the paint aisle of this hardware store. I'm pretty sure it was for, and she was like, "Oh yes, like woo! Oh, and look at that color!" I think like just getting really, really excited, and all right, that's nuts. Like whatever. That's how most radio ads go. they're kind of like locally made, and somebody comes up with an idea that's just like, what? She's just dancing in the. It's a very It's a very visual thing, to not see. Like we're guessing at a lot of this. Then finally, the guy comes up like, "Can I help you?" And or she gets so like dances so hard. I think again you can't see it that whatever something falls and the music stops with an abrupt record scratch, and I'm guessing the manager he comes over like, "Excuse me, ma'am, um, you seem to have dropped your Walkman." Also, I it would have been the greatest ad ever if he had have actually said, "Excuse me, ma'am, you dropped your Walkman," and it made a crazy record scratch sound, and then the music stopped. Where's your phone? Why is your mute like? Where did you get that? And then I don't know, some other like played out about them falling in love or something, because that would have made way more sense than um, you dropped your Walkman, and there was he didn't say there was it was just record scratch. Excuse me, ma'am, you dropped your your Walkman in the paint aisle. And then they just talked about the colors for a minute, and then I'm supposed to go buy paint, I guess, or visit that hardware store because they're so fun that you want to dance. I don't know. I don't know what was. I mean, I remembered that part happening. I don't even remember if it was a hardware or a paint store, so it didn't really work. Mostly because I was like, "Why did you say Walkman?" This was made like within like definitely within the last month to at least the last year. But it's a radio ad, so most people, I'm pretty sure, they pay their money to have it made. They put it on the radio for about a month or three, and then it's not there, or they make a new one, or it's been on forever. And I've listened to the radio before, and it wasn't there, so I know it's not one of these, hey, that's a staple of the radio. The lady dropping her Walkman because these paint colors. We all know about this, we all love it, so we'll never change it. If we ever put it on TV, we'll totally, um, you know, do the whole Walkman thing, and it's going to be hilarious because you'll see it. You'll see it in the dancing, and it's going to be like the yellow sport Sony Walkman that we all know and love as the standard uh, Walkman of choice for television shows, mostly because I think Sony owned all the television shows at the time. Clever girls. Um, but yeah, excuse me, ma'am. You dropped your Walkman paint aisle. In the paint aisle. Ma'am, I don't know if you know where you are right now, but you're in the paint aisle and you're dropping things. So, excuse me, let me comment. We're not going to say that I'm a crazy old man who doesn't know how to say iPhone or iPod or whatever it is people even carry their music on now. I assume it would just be phone. But he said Walkman. You dropped your portable record player, man. Your phonograph fell down. Radio, you're killing me. Because then, I mean, I had clothes, but I was like so naked and afraid. The Again, how did the radio stay on so long? Just to listen to these, I guess. And then I think shortly after this, I was like, phone plugged, music, podcast, something or other. I didn't write this one down. I only had the one note, and I didn't have the show. Something, something, something. Hey, we're a car lot. It's us, like the bargain car guys. Hey, we have a great time, and you love us, and you recognize us. How are those guys doing over at like the foreign car lot? Let's say it's Mitsubishi or Honda. I don't know what they were saying. Regardless, oh, how are they doing? And then like maybe it was a real Asian person, maybe it wasn't. Like I said, it's the radio, so you can't do certain things. And they just had like, I'm not gonna do it, of course, because it's you don't do it. You just don't do it. And the Asian guy was just he was super tired, like, oh my god, I don't know what we're gonna do. Oh, those guys at the other place are just killing us. They're killing us. Except in a very thick accent that I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do, even if you are that thing. I don't know. But whatever. Cut back to the other guys like, those silly idiots. Anyway, how are they doing still? What? Don't cut back to them. Do not cut back to them. You already made a terrible mistake. I think you got away with it. But then, oh me, oh my, like, ugh. No, I don't know. I don't think you were supposed to do that. But maybe they called up the guys from the actual competition who are totally definitely Asian, because I'm pretty sure the Honda or Mitsubishi, whichever one they were referencing, dealership is definitely not owned by another chubby white guy, some gray hair. No, it's still gonna have to call it racism. Let's let's relax and watch a cartoon. Wash this palette clean. Ready?
Hey, hi, it's me, Milo. I was just roaming around in all of this stuff that you have hoarded away here in your house, and well, I was lost, and anyway, I pooped in your hoarded stuff. You gotta clean that up. There's a lot of poop in there. I'm not the only cat that lives in here, and but it's not just poop. There's a lot of corpses. There's an awful lot of cat corpses, so um, if you're not going to clean any of this up, maybe let's at least get rid of the corpses. I mean, you know, civilization and whatnot. La la la.
And we're back. Never ever pull that lever straight. It's always off to the side, but you can't see. But again, there's usually, and in this case, there is a chair arm over here, some headphones over there, and often there's usually a dog here. More information you don't need. We're not going behind the scenes. Um, a little bit more about me, and then we'll be done. We could talk about maybe next episode. We'll talk about Deadpool. How about that? Deadpool, amazing. Really had like kind of low to medium high hopes because it was like, I don't know anything about Deadpool really. Like I know very little. Most of it I just learned like a month before I saw the movie, and that's it. Like all I ever thought was, hey, is that guy like Spider-Man with swords? I think that guy is Spider-Man with swords, and I don't I don't know. That's it. I never really he never popped up in any books that I had. I thought he was an image. Doesn't matter. We're not. We'll talk about Deadpool later, but we should. I ran into some people, and it made me realize that I ran into some other people, and some other people, and some other people, and there's like a good handful, a couple handfuls, fistfuls of people out there that, since I mentioned that other stuff from earlier, why not stay on that train, choo choo, etc., and engineer some uh, mental health. Oh God, it's always great when you refer to things like that. But no, again, so more details. We live in this house. Pretty nice. It's fantastic. It will be for sale. You can buy it. Maybe I'll do an episode of a tour of this and see if I can't sell it through this. But we're pretty good at selling houses. We've sold two, and you just make it nice and clean as it usually is, and we got to fix up the backyard, and then it's good to go. And we just have to start our lives over again. Yeah, super fun. So I tell a few people, or some people just know because I also talk about it on the podcast, and kind of mentioned it on here that that's the situation. It's not really much of a week's vacation, like the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. It's more of a like, hey, hanging out with your friend that used to be different, but it's good because it's good to be different, and like 15 years is a long, long time to whatever, not spread your wings and can't talk about that without doing a weird voice because I gotta hold the emotions down with creepy voices. See, I wasn't trying to do that. I don't know, it's just like the hand thing that just happens. So we're gonna skim over that a little bit, uh, and yeah, other than I don't know, maybe it should just be a rule uh, plastered up on some sort of government building that says like if you're gonna break up with somebody, then you gotta have a place to go. You need exit plans need to exist because after a certain amount of time, it's gonna be like, oh, so this is yeah, this is still happening and it still feels weird. So it would be cool. It would be cool to just have my own place or whatever, but things take time and also just when I want to do something like this, I can't do it in yelly, angry, crazy voice because the person I'm talking about is here. She doesn't watch this though, even though she's still a very good friend. But most of my best friends don't watch this. That's okay. It's totally okay. Hand gestures, no purpose. But no. Uh, when those people that I meet in my neighborhood. These are the people that I meet in my neighborhood each day. And when I'm walking down the street, the people that I meet, they say, if I had to do that, if I had to do that, and maybe this is just seeping into my head because I'm just like, I don't know, I go off and do my stuff, she goes off and does her stuff, and sometimes we watch the same TV shows in the same room. No big deal. Like, there's no need to try and kill each other or uh, plot schemes or do whatever the weird things that I've mentioned in other episodes that people do. The stories that my brother has told me that blow my mind every time. Of like people are doing what? Why? Because they broke up. He's gonna do what or she's did ha? Yes, yes, and they're just so many too insane. Like, oh, so she tried to go get pregnant by woo 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 woo. No, that's not something you do for revenge. That's a whole life. That's a whole life. Don't ever be good. Be careful is how we usually end the show, and try not to get stabbed is the thing that I try to forego. But another super great rule to live your life by is don't get pregnant for revenge or for any kind of plan other than you specifically want and have the means to put together a family situation and keep all of those people alive because that's crazy. It's crazy. Um, but the people they said usually while their actual husband or wife was right there, oh, I couldn't do that. I'd go crazy, was kind of like the medium answer. And the main answer was, oh, I'd like straight up murder them. Like, I'd get too stabby, is actual quote somebody said. I'd get too stabby. What? What? Oh, yeah. Some of my friends are crazy, and that's why they're my friends. But when stuff gets stabby out, then I have like, hey, you got to get down here. What's up? What's up? What are you talking about? Stuff just got stabby down here, so I'm gonna need somebody else to get stabby back and protect me. And then the stabby friend is all like, here we go. I got the good stabbing knife ready and excellent. Apparently, in the confines of like a marriage, when that marriage is like, we don't want to do this anymore. Oh, well, then I might stab you. What? What? And again, the people that said these things, I would murder them or they would murder me. There's like, this is, like I said, current, like this box is represents now. And then when they said this, like if that like you're married right now, and he or she is standing right there next to you. What are you talking about? What does that mean? Like I've never felt like sometimes I say things like, "Oh, if you people keep saying this one thing, every time somebody says chimney, like there's an L in it, because there isn't. I just want to push them over. I just want to push them and watch them fall down, and I'll never actually do that. And my hair is getting irate with me, um, because I'm not actually a very like vindictive person. I don't want people to hurt. I'd rather do nice things. There are people that do. I don't like question mark. How how am I supposed to go out into the world now, which is over here on this camera, um, and meet other people and build new friendships and or relationships, and not worry that did I find the only person in the world that doesn't get stabby when they don't want to play the game anymore? Everybody apparently is stabby and murdery, and I don't know. I guess that's why I have this show. Um, can can you can you repeat the question? For the courtroom, sir, can you tell everyone uh, why you're here? Like, what's your statement here? Like, why do you think you shouldn't have been stabbed? Oh, yeah. I kind of have this thing where I have podcasts and videos and even in books that I've written and just poems I'm sure that I put out there pretty clearly to everybody. I don't want to get stabbed or hurt in any way, so you're just not allowed to. And that that man over there, he totally just sidestepped all of my boundaries that I clearly set and stabbed me. Hopefully I survived to be in this courtroom drama. And yeah, just give me the money that goes with I don't know crazy lawsuits because that's what this is all about. If anybody ever hurts me and be like, nope, that's that guy. Everybody, hey, that's that guy. Don't hurt him. He really doesn't want to get hurt. He's not like the rest of us who love to get hurt and pain and we think it's awesome. He's not like us. Don't stab him. Like he's not into that. If you need to stab somebody, me over here, Timmy McStabberton. Huh? Just call me that. Any kind of knife. Sharp spoon. I don't care. Just get anything, rub it against some rocks until it's shanky, and put it in. Just wherever. Anywhere fleshy. I don't care. Love it. Like everybody else does, of course. And of course, I'll probably, to return the favor, stab you back. Because we all, like I said, they did the voice on the radio, and she dropped a Walkman, and I'm naked and afraid. So I put on some clothes and I go out into the world, and you try to be brave, and you try to exist and be real. And I don't know. There's so many dangers right there just by turning on the radio. There are many dangers that could be found in any common thing. You must keep a lookout. Something else for everything. Something about getting a fork stuck in a toaster while it is turned on. It's always Christ or Somebody's week. That's what that whole melange of words was about. Seriously, be good. Absolutely be careful. Good morning, everybody. That wasn't a point. That was more of a little hook. Hooked you. Down on the bottom, should have said this before it ended. Click on the buttons that say, or well, actually, click on the cats on the sides to subscribe to the channel. Click up on the top left and right when the cats are there to go to the last episode or go to the next episode. And in the bottom, there's links for the website for the books that we've made and you can buy. I think there's the link to the cat's Twitter and comments. There's all kinds of stuff down there. You can click and type and have a great old time. And that's the end for real this time. Morning, everybody. Terry, your stuff is on its way. I got it in an envelope, and it's in my car. Just needs to going to the post office. I promise. I promise. You didn't stop winning. I just kept not making it to the post office, etc.
Click on my butt or Ripley's butt to subscribe. Click on my butt. Click on my butt. Click on my butt. Subscribe. Click on my butt. Click on my butt. Click on my butt.